Yeah. You just gotta vibe with it. Love. Green, green, green. I don't wanna be heartless. Green, green, green. And I ain't saying that I'm flawless. Green, green, green. I'm coming out of that darkness. Cause I don't wanna be heartless. Love. They say hurt people, ain't that the truth? I done messed around and hurt people I'm closest to. See, I swore that was something I would never do. Disgusted with myself, feeling so pitiful. Gotta be a better man for the wife and kids. But these dark moments got me thinking about the wrong I did. Like, am I really who God said I is? I can't lie, at night I'm shedding many tears. Man of God, that's who I'm supposed to be. But I feel like slipping back to the old me. Like, Lord, I really need a new heart with a fresh start, cause I'm trapped with these painful thoughts. Feeling like everything is my fault. This past year seemed like everything has fell apart. Feeling like Elijah in the cave, so afraid. Running from my fears, cursing my faith like, am I really saved? See, I don't wanna be heartless. Let's vibe.
My name is Roderick M3 Birch.
Now, the last time I did the journalism thing was the Written in Blood blog. I think he was like the first or second person I interviewed there. So
I remember that too.
So tell the people what you do.
What I do is I'm a man of God first and foremost, man. I'm a minister, and I do music. Do a lot of different events, cater to different subjects within just life principles, period, from sex to manhood to just trying to become a better believer overall. So, yeah, that's kind of what I do.
For sure. So I think the last time we did an interview was like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
It was like when people was first getting introduced to you.
Yeah, I did that. Dropped that transformation.
Yeah. How has the experience been over these last 5 or 6 years for you?
Life has changed drastically. I've got married. I had kid number 2 now. I done got into my career now, so I done did so many different transitions throughout these last 5 years. So it's been a journey, and I'm just looking forward to what's next. So
That's dope. Definitely I mean, us being in our mid to late 20s, like, it's such a key time in life.
yeah.
So, like, what advice? And it's always a big transition the whole time.
Yeah.
So, what advice do you got for, like, just those other people, but specifically for the men who going through those transitions right now?
Man, focus. If you don't do anything else, focus, because you have to shut out the noise that's around you, because it's so much transition. It's so much transition, and with transition, there's noise. And so, if you don't focus on your goals, on your aspirations, your dreams, and try to conquer them, then you're gonna allow those noises to suck you in and distract you from getting to your ultimate goal. So, like for me, I just shut everything out, and it's gonna cause people to not always agree with you or hate you or dislike you and all this different stuff. But I've been able to just focus on, like I was telling Juan before, focus on my family. I've been able to buy a house now, 26 years young, been able to just conquer little different things that the Lord has blessed me and graced me to be able to do. But because of that focus and that faithfulness to Him.
Yeah. So, being a man of God, being a black man coming where we from, like, so many people try to tell us what manhood should look like.
Right.
Not all of them are the right voice.
Right.
So how have you been able to define it over these years?
Define manhood, life experiences. Oh man, just what I do is I watch different men. I'm a very huge observer. I've been like that since I was young. And I watch and I take away from the good qualities as well as the bad. I've always done that since I was yay high. And I'd be like, man, I'm not going to do that because I see what that got that person. And I'm not going, and I'm going to do that. I like how such and such do that. So I just watch people, man, and I read and I study and I try to talk to different people. One of the hugest things that I've done so far was be more vocal and asking questions, asking for help, asking like, man, I really don't know how to be a father. You know what I'm saying? Nobody taught me this. I don't know how to be a husband. Nobody taught me this. I grew up in the hood for real. So I had my pops, but you know, my pops was busy doing his thing, and you know, so he never said me down like, hey, look, this how you do this, that, and the third. So just asking questions and having different meetings and conversations with different older men that's been through life, you know, because you're going to go through your own life experiences and it's going to teach you, but just trying to get a different outlook, a different perspective from different men and be like, okay, how should I do this? What should I, you know what I'm saying?
So do you have a mentor or maybe multiple mentors?
I mean, you can kind of say that. I'm talking to one of them right now, who I trust with everything, man. His name is Daryl Bryant, Elder Daryl Bryant. We call him Apostle. He's a super big, huge influence in my life since I came into the faith. So he's always been in my corner, always been there to give sound advice to me. Different people that I've come across throughout the years that, you know, every now and then we talk, we kick it, older man. So I have different people that I can go and talk to just get some good advice, some sound advice.
Yeah, I think one of the like misconceptions is like younger men don't want to hear that advice. Even dudes like younger than us. I remember I had to go speak at a school, and like one of the fears, I was like, well, why would they listen to me?
Yeah.
And like younger dudes, they be waiting for somebody to come around, especially somebody that look like them or they feel like they can relate to. So let's go back a little bit. Let's talk about how life was for you before, you know, the relationship with God began, and kind of before you are the more finished product that you are right
now. Life before. I was just at a camp last night talking to the cats about that. Just who I was, man, what I was on. I was still doing music. I was doing music, but I was doing it in the world. I was always in the clubs. I was always partying, drinking, smoking, chasing females. You know, just trying to become everything that media has taught us to be. You know, just what I saw in the hood, man. I just saw cats that was fresh all the time. I saw them pulling up in the coldest whip. So I'm like, I want to be that. I want to be the man. I want to stun on people because I came from nothing, literally. So we grew up rats, roaches, you know, Section 8. And so I always like, man, I'm going to buy my mama a crib, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to get out the hood and I'm going to stun on everybody that ever overlooked me, that ever underestimated me, that ever said I wasn't going to be nothing. So I'm going to get this bread and I'm going to show them out, you know what I'm saying? And so that's where I was at. That's the mentality that I had, man. It was a very toxic mentality because I just really wanted to just outdo everybody. And I think that's the mentality that a lot of Detroit young men have because it's just what we see every day. And I think that's what leads to, and it's unfortunate, the killings and the robberies and all like that because we just want to step out and be so fresh and outdo our next brother. You know what I'm saying? So when I was coming up, I'm like, all right, bet. When I started getting bread, I'm like, I'm going to go put the rims on my whip. I'm going to get the yays. I'm going to get the True Religions. And I did all of it. And I had to get the gun. Like, I felt like I had to get a gun to, you know, put on my lap and ride around now that I got this sweet car. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh, I used to get in the car like, man, I hope I don't have to shoot nobody. You know what I'm saying? But that's the mentality that I used to have, trying to keep up and outdo the Joneses at the same time. You feel me? So,
absolutely. Do you feel like it's harder for the dudes now than it was for us when we were growing up?
Man, heck yeah. Just because of the times we're living in now, the technology is so advanced now. So now that has highlighted and enhanced everything. Technology literally has boosted and shifted everything to a whole different level. So before, it was, oh, if I see you, now it's stunting, blah, 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 blah. But now I can just post a picture and it ain't even mine. And now, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, bro, let me hold them couple hundreds and let me go turn those hundreds into 20s and then go get a couple 20s and put those into ones. And now you got this big stack. and now you on social media like these, and everybody think you got these dummies. Well, really, it's only like $100, $200. You feel what I'm saying? So, I think it's harder because now, everybody on social media is just going crazy.
Yeah. And they just posting the highlights.
Yeah, like, posting the highlights. That's it.
I never understood like dudes are making themselves targets.
Yeah.
Like, at least back in the day, you had to catch me outside.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Now it's just like, bro, I know where you gonna be at.
Right. And you put your location.
Yeah.
And then you tell them where you at, like what you doing, what club you at, and all this stuff. That's what made me get rid of my rims. I didn't do it out of fear or anything like that. It was just like, man, this stuff is materialistic. It don't matter. Like when I came into God, it's funny because when I came into God, I was just telling this story last night. I still was wearing my yays. I still was wearing my trues. I still wear my trues and stuff now, but I still was just me. I still had the Detroit swag. You know what I'm saying? I still had the money with the rims on there. I still had the gun on me, even in God. But man, I was like, man, if I really, this is where they carry guns, I carry God where they carry guns song came from. I'm like, if I really trust God, I don't need to carry this gun. And I told them young cats last night, ever since I turned 21, bro, stop carrying my gun. Like, I don't carry my gun nowhere. Even though I'm an officer now. Like, but I'm an officer in the prison, but I don't carry my gun. You feel me? It's just in the crib, so.
Yeah. There's also like this super big lack of like just day-to-day stuff that they don't have that we had. Like they don't even got a park to go hoop at. But, like, dudes don't know that feeling to just hoop with some random people in your hood that you know. That's why they can't really hoop like that no more. But
I just killed my man. We killed everybody last night on the court, dog. Just going crazy.
Yeah, man. We was talking about, man, it was real up there. Yeah. You had to really know how to ball, man.
Yeah, you had to know how to ball for real. And it was, back in those times, man, it was more community than now is everybody segregated, separated, you know, because like, don't nobody, I was talking about this in college a few years ago. You don't even know your next door neighbor. And now everybody just want to mind their own business. But back then, man, you came outside. You stayed outside all day. Yep. You got the crates to play basketball. If you couldn't find the rim, they ain't even creative like how we was. Football, you know what I'm saying? Football in the streets, you know, kickball, all of these different things. Like we even if we fought, fist fight, it was like the next couple hours we was right back cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we don't have that community feel no more in our city, for real, for real. Inner city.
Yeah, there's a couple people trying to get it back, and salute to them, but it's definitely an uphill battle.
Yeah.
So let's talk about rap. What got you started rapping?
My brother. I saw my brother and my cousin, who I think still to this day is the coldest. My cousin Joey Oso. He ain't my real cousin, but you know how that is growing up.
Yep.
Buddy is so cold. I used to just sit back and watch them rap, and he just had the coldest songs, like, and I was like 9, 10, just watching them. Then by I think 12 years old, man, probably even before then, I wrote my first rap, and I was so cold. I was so happy. I was like, I'm about to go show him, like, boom, 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 boom. And then what I did, let me tell you what I did though. I used to steal his raps. His raps were so cold. I used to memorize his raps. Yeah. They were so cold, and I used to rap them in front of people. And then they were like, oh, you cold. And I used to take them like they was mine or whatever. But that's what made me really start rapping, man. I always had a passion for music. I played the violin when I was in 3rd grade, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th grade. Played in the band, played the saxophone. I just had always had an itch for music. Like, I always just wanted to. I used to compose music with my teacher when we played the violin. I was real good at the violin, man. I wish I was just saying that yesterday too. I wish I never gave that up. But I allowed those voices, oh man, you soft, blah, 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 you know, to allow me to put that down, make me put that down, man. But I just always love music, man. I can listen to music all day, every day, any type of genre of music.
So how long was it before you started rapping to the moment where you actually got in the studio?
Man, I remember me and my homies, we had this clique called TNO. And one day, I don't know why, they was just like, come on, let's go. No, matter of fact, I had this computer in my basement, and I found out that it had a recorder thing on it. And so I hooked up this mic. I don't know where I got the mic from. And then I just started recording my own songs. And then it was like, let's go to the real studio. And we caught the bus. We stayed on Dexter, dog, and we caught the bus all the way on what's that, Oak Park Manor. So that's Schaefer and 9 Mile. We caught the bus as farthest it can get us there, and we walked the rest of the way. I mean, called in the night. We went in the studio, man, just rapping. So ever since then, I just love this feeling. Like I love being in this studio. I still got songs from back then too.
I started rapping at like 8. I don't think I hit the studio till like 16, 17 though. We was, I mean, back in the day, you always had to battle rap. Like every day, you had to be ready. And so my man, we was at lunch one day, and he's like, "Bro, we might as well just do this jump for real." So like 3 of us, like, bro, we gotta go to the studio for real. And I was the only rapper. And I just remember the first time in the studio, I'm like, bro, we gonna make it. Like, because everything sound crazy in the studio. Like everything sound crazy.
Man, I sounded in the studio. When I heard it back, I was so nervous. I was just so nervous, like, and my voice sounded so raspy. Like I just listened to one of those songs recently, and I was like, man, like I just sounded so like scared. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew I had it though. Like I knew I was the most serious about it, and I knew I was the most gifted at it because it just came natural to me to just write, you know, and so.
I was thinking about that recently, and I was like, I can't thank God I didn't know what I was doing back then.
Right.
You might have popped.
Right. I had a couple, when I started doing it for real, and I started going to the studio, my boy had his own studio, and he stayed right around the corner from my man's crib, and I used to go to his studio faithfully. And this one cat came across my music, older cat, and he was like, man, I can get you into, I got some people that's connected to Interscope. And so what he did was he contacted Interscope. I was in middle school, I was in 8th grade, I'll never forget this. And they was like, they gave me 3 tracks, bro. Interscope gave me three tracks. Well, they gave me about 5 beats, and they told me to make 3 of my best songs. And then I was supposed to go and record it in the studio in West Bloomfield. And it just fell through. He said his studio crashed. He was just real hurt or whatever. I'm like, dang, that was a big opportunity, you know, to come up, and it just fell through. I was like, it was right there. I was about to rap with Eminem. I was like, you know, so that's how I felt back then. Like, dang.
No, I definitely remember those moments. Like, that's crazy. So, what was that transition like when you know you getting to know God and like, you know, I'm about to switch up the whole music. And you had to, was you still a part of the group? And how was that conversation like when you had to tell them like,
whoo, Jesus, oh man, when I switched my life though, everybody around me was like, he going through a phase. He gonna come out this phase. Like, I'm like, bro, I'm serious about this. Like, I really want to change my life. And I was going to church all the time and all that good stuff. I put music down. I said I'm not doing music. I thought Christian rap was whack. I thought it was lame. You know what I'm saying? So I put that down, and I deleted I was me and my cousin Joey. This is the first time we ever worked together. We was working on our own CD together. So, you know, that was huge to me because it was like, this is who I look up to in this music game. You know what I'm saying? And I was so in love with God, for real, that I'm like, bro, I can't do this. He's still kind of mad at me to this day. I mean, he respected, but, and then the group that I was in this group called CFB, and I just was like, I'm done. Like, and they hated it. They was hurt. They felt betrayed. And I was just like, man, this is the direction I gotta go. So that transition, it was kind of hard, because I was like, I wasn't doing music anyways. I'm like, forget this music. Then this lady in my church, she was like, you need to do it for God. I'm like, man, let's jump back. Went to this concert, dude. And it's so funny because one of the songs that I wrote with my cousin was a gospel song. It was the one gospel song that I wrote. I'm like, I want to just try to write a gospel song for some reason. And then right after that, my transformation happened. I promise you, right after that. It's the song with Bianca Barber on Transformation, He's Almighty. That was the first gospel song. I just want to write a gospel song and see if I can do it without cussing. And I did it, and I was like, dang, that was dope. And then my transformation just took place literally right after that. I was like, wow. So
What was that thing that actually drew your heart to God?
When I just really, I was going through some junk, dog. I was about to get married, you know what I'm saying? And I was a heavy drinker. Me and my girl, she had a daughter with another dude before I met her. And long story short, I was a cheater, and I just was not going to church anymore. I was always drinking, clubbing, and all that stuff, man. And long story short, I had a situation where I got too drunk, too high. I had a party at my crib, and I kind of spazzed out on everybody, and it was just kind of like real arrogant and boastful. And I called everybody the next day, like, bro, my bad, my bad, my bad. I called everybody. Everybody like, nah, bro, you good, you good, you good. Called my one man that I went to college with, Mike. I tell him this all the time. I thank him. I thank God for using him. He was like, bro, I would never want to be your friend. Like, why would anybody want to be your friend? You act like that. And that junk broke my heart. I looked myself in the mirror that day, and I was like, man, this ain't who I am. And then I started reflecting on God, like, and I just started thinking about God, man. And I was like, dog, he didn't literally cover me from being shot at, from all the times I got into it with the police and was in the back of the car on my way to the station. And by the grace of God, they was like, you know what, we're going to take you to the crib. Every single time, bro, they always let me go. I mean, guns on me. I promise you, this is no lie. All this crazy stuff, dog. And I just started looking back at that like, man, God really do love me, huh? So I'm like, I'm going to try him out, man, for real. I'm like, I'm going to give him my all. And that's what drew me, just by reflecting on him covering me from being behind the wheel, drunk out my mind. Don't know how we got home, bro. But I wouldn't let nobody else drive my whip. Right. I'm like, I'm going to drive. If you get there, you get there. If not, hey, it is what it is. And I remember flying through red lights. And I don't know. That was God, bro. Like, for real, for real. So, just reflecting on that, man, really just was like, all right, God, I see what it is. Let's see what this goes. Let's see how this goes. So, now I'm here.
You ever look back on those moments like, why did I think that was cool? Like, when I think about the stuff that I did at first, like, what was going on? Like, this was trauma and addiction all wrapped into one.
Man, I be like, I was tripping hard. I mean, tripping hard. And I'm like, I don't understand why I was doing that. Like, I mean, I know why I was doing it because of my environment, because of what I saw, but I just, when I look at it now, dog, and I see the same stuff that I was doing to other people that I love, it just makes me so sick, dog. Like, dang, dog. Because I know what that can lead to. You know what I'm saying? I know the results that can lead to, man. And the traumatizing, man. It can be very traumatizing, just.
Yeah. Well, let's fast forward a little bit. Now you rapping for God. How has that been, especially in the midst of like the Detroit scene, which I'm biased, but I think we have one of the more talented.
You said that the last time on the interview.
I
but
promise
it's real,
we do.
though.
And
it's
then
real.
Since then, it's been way more people that came out and gave us way more dope content.
Yeah. I think it's dope, man. I think, like, where I'm at right now with music, man, I'm just trying to figure out, because God gives me so many different things, man. Like, I get inspired by my environments, you know, and the seasons of my life, man. And so I necessarily don't write music all the time to Christians, you know what I'm saying? Like, I make music based off of, it's God inspired, you know what I'm saying? It's like just life, what's going on. So I think that the city, though, honestly has a lot of dope artists. I just hate that we just all separated, for real. Like, that's the biggest thing that hurts our city, because I think we can be the Atlanta, that's probably one of the biggest cities that I think is out there. Atlanta and New York, they together. They push each other. You know what I'm saying? And we just so competitive, and that's just the spirit of Detroit, though, because it's not just in the Christian community. You see it everywhere. If you go, you scroll through social media, you see the secular artists are the same way. They be don't nobody want to show love. They only want to show love to certain individuals, and that's just the spirit that's over Detroit, the competitive, spirit. So
Yeah, I was oh, you was talking about it. I felt like the whole scene retired at the same time.
yeah.
But now that I'm thinking about it, in 16 and 17, it seemed like everybody dropped a couple times. So maybe everybody cooking up right now in 2019 gonna be crazy.
I think so.
So like you talked about not feeling the urge to write for Christians all of the time. That conversation has been big, and some people go to like one side of, I feel like every single song is gonna be this way.
Yeah.
And other dudes, you almost got to tap them and remind them that they're Christian.
Right. Right.
What has been just your process of trying to like navigate that balance?
I keep everything founded on my foundation. Every song that I make is founded on my foundation, which is God, which is Christ. And so whatever song I made a song called Mama Cried, and it was based off of my experience in the prison system. From my perspective, from an officer, but I put myself in the shoes of an inmate, and I just wrote a story, basically. It had nothing to do with God, you know what I'm saying? Another, like, Church in the Hood was birthed just through seeing different things. Like, that's all catered towards people in those type of environments, in those communities. So I don't consider, like, when I do stuff that's just God inspired, to be something totally left field. You know what I'm saying? It's just more so, I tell people this all the time, man. God is the creator. And he created us to be creators, you know what I'm saying? And so we have so much creativity in us that we keep boxing ourselves in by just every song has to be catered towards Christians, like, or just it has to be Jesus in every song. Like, if people see your life, they hear your music, and then it's not contradicting to the word. It don't have to. You can write a song about whatever. You can write a song, like I wrote an ABC song. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it was, granted, it was Christian, it was about Christ, but it's catered to the kids, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so that's just my process. I just like, God, help me to be creative. I just want to create, you know?
Yeah. I had to get real comfortable with that. Like, even when I did my last mixtape, it was about just really mental health and Christ, but I was listening to it like, I don't know if I said Jesus enough. I don't know if dude's gonna trip on me. And because I was like, this is how I feel. Right. I don't want nobody to trip on me and feel like I'm going the other way, because so many people that went the other way. Yeah. First it started with like, yo, I'm gonna take my music in a different direction.
Yeah. And then it goes to, I'm dropping the Christian rapper label. Yeah. And then they say I'm just a inspirational, clean artist. Like,
yeah, I think it's so important to have that diversity of conversation, but still be like, yo, I'm Christian.
Most
I think
definitely.
The more artists that shy away from the Christian label, it make it hard for dudes who Christian. I mean,
I'm all of the. I'm Christian rapper. I'm a rapper that's a Christian, whatever you want to call it. I think the most important thing, though, honestly, dog, is your fruit. Like, what is your fruit? Because music is only to me, and I just said this last night, music is only a bait for me. Like, I use that as a bait, it's a tool. So my music is beyond, or my purpose is beyond my music, even though my music is a part of it. You feel what I'm saying? So like last night, for example, I used my music as a tool to engage younger people. And then now I'm able to teach them, because now they like, wait, Buddy cold. You know what I'm saying? He's relatable. And so now it's easier for me to talk to them and them to receive it. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at music. And then that's where the fruit comes in. That it's like, now you're seeing people's lives impacted and influenced by who you are as an individual. You know what I'm saying? So
artists got to get multifaceted. Like, when I see artists who all they offer is they art, is like, bro, so much more life.
That's heartbreaking to me, honestly, because we get stuck in that. We get stuck trying to chase this stage, and I never want to throw shade at nobody or nothing like that, but we chasing stages when God commissioned us as believers to go and make disciples.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He never said use your music or go and get on all these platforms. You can do it, but what are you doing with those platforms?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you really talk to somebody that's out there touring and out there doing that stuff, they tell you how draining, how it takes you away from your family, and it's hard to interact with people, even when you rapping or singing or whatever the case may be, because now it's like your focus is okay. I need to breathe. I need to get away so I can come down because I'm just on this big old cloud, and I just rapped in front of hundreds of thousands of people, and then now all these people won't like. That's why I think God don't give a lot of people that stage because they gonna literally turn away from Him if they get that stage. You know what I'm saying? So I just tell people, man, look, your ministry is when you come off that platform.
So earlier you talked about being a husband, being a father. What has that taught you about yourself?
I'm flawed. Oh man, I'm so flawed. I got so many things to work on. But it's a blessing though, man. I think those type of things, I think marriage in general just shows you what you would never have seen if you were single. Because it brings out that other side of you. And then you start noticing things like, dang, I am selfish. Dang, I can be petty. I can be stubborn, arrogant, or whatever the case may be. And then you start, or prideful, and then you start seeing that. And I think God uses marriage to be able to correct you. So you can see, okay, these are my issues, God. You see this my issue. I notice it, I see it, and I acknowledge it. So blah blah blah. And then you get to work and become a better person overall. And then as a father, fatherhood is just dope because you literally, like through my eyes of seeing my son, I get to see the father, how he look at us. Like it's so dope, man. It's crazy. Now I got a daughter. So this is like she 2 weeks. 2 weeks today. I'm like, oh Jesus. Yeah. I don't even know how this roller coaster about to be, but it's a blessing though, man. It's taught me and grown me a lot.
And being in the church has been encouraging because I've seen so many young men like really embrace fatherhood, really embrace like what it means to be a husband. Cause you got married young. Any advice for young dudes who thinking about marriage, just entering marriage?
Yeah, it's a beautiful, ugly work. It's seriously, you really have to be. I'm not gonna necessarily say ready because nobody would be ready for anything for real. But you really gotta have that level of commitment for real, just that in yourself. Regardless, even if you want to quit, even if you say you're gonna quit, you gotta have that type of dedication. Like, you know what, by any means necessary, I'm gonna make this work. Talk to people that's married. Get you a counselor. One of the things that I think we fail at is we just do premarital counseling and we don't do postmarital counseling. And so, like, that's what me and my wife into now. It's just like, let's just go to counseling. Like, a couple months ago, what was that? Like, 2 months ago, we was like, let's go to counseling. And we didn't want nothing wrong or anything. We just went to counseling. And in counseling, we found a couple of things that was wrong. We was able to talk about a couple of things. But it gives you that person that just keep you on your game and help you to grow in your marriage if that's what you desire. A lot of people, just don't get married to get married, man. This is the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with, man, and you want to build a legacy with, man. That's what we trying to do. We trying to build a legacy. So when we long gone, our name is still here. You got the Jesuses, of course, but you got the Martin Luther Kings, you got the Gandhis, you got the Malcolm X's, you got all these great men that left legacies. You know what I'm saying? And so that's all I'm trying to do, man, is let the Birch name continue to be here by the grace of God.
Dope. So we end every episode with just random questions.
Okay.
Super random questions, like they don't even make sense, but they keep you on your toes.
Let's go.
All right, question 1. What horror movie franchise do you think you'll survive in?
I don't know. I don't even watch horror movies. The first thing that came to my mind though was Jeepers Creepers from some odd reason.
That's a tough one.
For some odd reason that just came in my mind. Like Jeepers Creepers. Like
that's a tough one. Let's see. Your 2K position.
Swan Ford.
Okay. First album you bought.
I would say Brother Dre, Second Coming. That was the first album I ever bought, period, in my life.
I think I still got that boy. I'm yeah, that's dope. Last book you read.
I'm processing 2 books at the same time. Soar by T.D. Jakes and what is it called? This book by Miles Monroe is called The Potential That's in You or something like that. Something about releasing the potential within or something like that, or the greatness within. It's a super dope book though. Those are 2 books that I'm currently trying to finish up.
Power League team you either played for or supported?
Power League team I played for, the Detroit Dragons, you know what I'm saying? We was doing the thing all them years, 2001 to 2005 I played for them.
Okay. Last question. What was your first CHH album that meant something to you?
That I did or somebody did?
Somebody else did.
Bizzle, man. For some reason, Bizzle he just connected with me. Like, K.I. put me on Bizzle, and he put me up on Triple E, but that Bizzle is just like, dang, that was, which one was that? That was the Tough Love and Parables. Was that Bizzle? Tough Love and Parables?
I don't know none of Bizzle albums. Names.
It was amazing.
I just know it sounded like somebody K.I. put you up on.
Yeah, like he gave you all these CDs, and I just
be mad that K.I. they never gave us a CD.
Man, we done did so much music together, man. K.I. then it just never went anywhere.
Yeah, K.I. dope. I mean, me and did a lot of music together. I was like, bro, man, just give us one CD and just retire after that. All right, so. Anything coming up? I mean, I know you said you about to start working on music soon.
Yeah.
But any music outside of music, anything coming up you want the people to know about?
I'm processing, building my studio back up. So that's what I'm gonna do when I leave here. But yeah, I'm thinking about dropping an EP, man, in January for my birthday. Some new music, a new wave that God got me on. Super nasty, super dope, super different. Never done this before. This type of style of music. And it's an album that I have, that I haven't been able to record yet, just because of all the transitioning. So that should be coming soon as well. 2019 maybe, who knows? Or 2020. Dang, that sounds weird, don't it? It does. And just more ministry, man. Church in the Hood is about to relaunch. Well, it's never not launched, but we about to get back into the evangelism, into all that good stuff. So stay connected with me, man. Life is ministry 15@gmail.com if you want to connect with me in any type of way, man. So yeah,
that's dope. All right, that's all we have for episode 2. These drop every other Tuesday, so subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit on my mans if you need anything. Oh, tell them where they can find your music though.
You can find my music everywhere, man. What I did was I re-released Transformation 1 and 2, and I put it together. So that's everywhere: Amazon, iTunes, Google Play, all where you can find music. Just type in M3Z, kind of went with that a little bit more than M3. So M3Z, 3 Z's and a Y. You can type that in anywhere and everything will pop up. Bandcamp, M3Z. You find my music everywhere. Bandcamp is free. Amazon and iTunes and Google Play, all that stuff make you charge. So if you want to support, go ahead. And if you want it and can't get it, just hit me up, man. Email me and I will shoot that to you for free.
All right, we'll catch y'all next time.
I don't wanna be heartless, I wanna be spotless. So when it's all said and done, I'm dwelling where God is. But can I be honest? My heart became toxic. Sunday after Sunday just became robotic. Going through the same motions in the church, preaching to the people with a heart full of hurt, heart full of pride, closet full of dirt. Heartless, seem like I can't even break this curse. Lord, I can really use a heart of flesh, cause my heart full of mess. Got a crucified flesh, yes. I don't wanna be fake, I wanna be real. I'm in need of your help, I'm looking towards that hill. With my hands stretched out, I repent of it all. I don't care about nothing but a clean heart. With my hands stretched out, I repent of it all. I don't care about nothing but a clean heart. Cause I don't wanna be heartless. And I ain't saying that I'm flawless. I'm coming out of that darkness. Cause I don't wanna be heartless. Look, it's not a joke. In the evening, when the dark night rises, the heart get exposed for deceitful and violent. City of Gotham, casting all my cares and problems on the Lord, cause he go take them up with no problem. My God is awesome, them dark clouds is fading away. Joy in the morning, it's a brighter day. Pastor said pray, but I ain't been praying like I should. Go back to the root, maybe my childhood. I was misunderstood, overlooked, underestimated. Heart just grew weak over the years, it's been resuscitated. I've been meditating on them scriptures. It was hard to see myself in all them broken mirrors. Now I can see a clear picture. Cause I ain't wanna be heartless. And I still ain't flawless. But I'm coming out of that darkness. Cause I ain't no more. Cause I ain't no more. Cause I ain't no more heartless.